This is the White House battle plan against the influencers that dare to expose them. This is how Charlie Kirk died, and this is how Candace Owens and others like her will die. And I'm interfering by showing you the battle plan. When you interfere, it can have consequences. Look what happened after Charlie Kirk died. The whole world was occupied with the subject. However, what is the price? How much is it affordable to win a revolution against the Luciferian cabal? Should we just let people like Candace Owens die so that the people wake up? I don't want to be that type of person who will make those type of sacrifices to make a revolution against the oppressive regime in the United States of America. So I'm going to interfere by showing you the battle plan. Take a good look at this. Yeah, so we have these influencers, and not just influencers. There are many people in the United States in authority, in some way of power, that are against Donald Trump in the White House for the policies, right? So anyone can interpret this if you are against the White House, against the tyranny, and against the oppression. So you get a signal in your brain from the Holy Spirit, okay? Whether you're aware of it or not. If you're in America an influencer like Candace Owens, something is inside of your conscience giving you a discernment between the difference between right and wrong. Make this decision. Do this. That's what the Holy Spirit does. You wake up in the morning in America and the Holy Spirit go like this. Poop, poop, seed in your brain, in your mind, seeding it. Go do this. All right? And then on the other side of the battlefield is the Luciferian elite, the puppets, and they get the energy to create the opposition instantly. This is tailor-fit. God says A and Satan says B. That's the duality. So when Candace Owens or whoever in the United States wakes up and go like, oh, look at all this manipulation, look at all this scam, and look at all this control coming out of the White House. So what are you going to do about it? So then the Holy Spirit is going to give you inspiration what you could do about it. So once you start doing that, the Luciferian energy wakes up and enters the system, and the system uses Donald Trump, the US president, through the policymakers and enforcers like ICE, FBI, CIA, and the tech giants. And what they do is cover stuff up and guide the narrative. So this is the 3-step plan on how to silence the influencers and anyone else that is trying to stop, quote unquote, the control agenda in the United States. Every quote unquote Christian or American who is inspired by the Holy Spirit, aware of it or not, you have ambitions, desires. You want to be seen. You want to be followed. You want to have deals, status. Donald Trump knows that. I saw a TikTok video where he was like, you could be the next in the president's seat. Think about this. Do you think I'm going to talk like that? Any one of you want to talk like that, talking to other people? You want to have my seat? Why would a Machiavellian person like Trump say stuff like, hey, you can be the next president? It's to keep you busy with your desires. Because you in the United States opposition, the influencers that are exposing the psyop, all you're doing is doing whatever needs to be done so that the public stands behind you, so that you get the morale, so that you can get political status and eventually even the presidency. Because that's what you want. I know it, and Donald Trump knows it. Charlie Kirk, what did he want? The presidency. Candace Owens, what does she want? The presidency. All these people that are sticking out their neck and enter the danger zone. Why are they doing that? They're trying to prove to the American public what? That they are righteous people who can lead the United States. It's all to get status. Donald Trump knows. So if you do a certain thing in the United States, you can jeopardize your status, your deals, your follower levels. So you're going to stay in a certain way of operating because the public's approval needs to be there. And this approval and that, you're going to be conformed this way. As long as you have these things called 7 deadly sins, your pride, vanity, greed, and such are going to open your ears because your desire is going to get you to listen to the offers that these figures will offer you to stop doing this, what the Holy Spirit is inspiring to do. So when you touch it once, you touch it twice, and then you touch it the third time, and all of a sudden this Luciferian energy get a foot in the door in the destiny of the influencer or anyone who's involved in exposing the psyop. All right? And then comes the bribe. Are you corrupt? Like, when you follow your desires and you're ignorant and naive, you listen to the offers. And because it's a trade, I'll give you followers, or this door will open, or the gatekeeper door will open, you'll get this stage. And all you got to do is tone it down a little bit. That's called compromise. That is a form of corruption, but bribery, yes, that's the second stage. However, when you're starting to get these bribe offers, all of a sudden you're halfway in. And all of a sudden when you don't take the bribes, then you can be pressured because they know and they can expose that you have taken a couple of offers and followed your desires. And once you stop going like, I don't want these bribes, and you start exposing the bribes, yes, then Luciferian energy will enter one of the people that is on the other side. It's hardened, self-destructive, and then comes someone who owes them, or someone who obeys them, or someone who fears them, under control. They call it like, oh my God, he was under the MK Ultra, whatever. The force will fall upon someone, get frustrated, angry. That energy will fall upon that person, get frustrated, and boom, gone. All right? So this is all by the allowance of God. I'll show it to you. So the Holy Spirit, if you are called by God, the Bible is full with people dying for Christ, suffering for Christ. All the apostles were executed. So when you start doing what the Holy Spirit wants you to do, you are going to be targeted by that which target Satan can go to God and go like, hey, and like in the book of Job, yeah, that Christian over there, oh yeah, let me do this and this and this, and let's see if the worship still continues. And boom, the Luciferian contract enters Trump, and Trump gives the command to the FBI, CIA tech giants, or the ICE, and it falls upon you. The offer shows up, or the bribe shows up, or the ambassador of the assassination. Yes. The Luciferian birthright in the United States of those who have been abandoned by heaven form an army. And this birthright is managed by Satan. And they do what Satan says. There is no free will in hell. They are hardened. Just like in the Bible with Pharaoh. Pharaoh was hardened. Moses was speaking and speaking. Pharaoh can't listen. These people will not listen. They have that manipulative energy. Luciferian manipulation. And they're in self-destruct. Right? And when you have too much, quote-unquote, sins, 7 deadly sins, you can be receptive to start taking deals. You start sitting with the devil. Start dancing with the devil. And all of a sudden, taking the bribes of the devil. And then you go like this. No, I'm not that type of criminal. I don't let myself be bribed. But you are so deep in it, and boom, the assassination is authorized. Yes. Because who has no sin? And the United States, Who of you is not trying to become president? Who in the American opposition underground, rebelling and stuff? Who of you is not corrupted? Who of you is not doing it for the desires of your ego to be seen, to be elected so that you can rule America? Do you know what ruling America means? Still listening? Probably have the intelligence to listen. You know what ruling America means? So imagine that one of those guys on the left side from the Holy Spirit makes it all the way to the right side and becomes president. You know why Lucifer is controlling that president seat? It's called genocide. It's called mass murder. It's called money printing. It's called corruption. It's called government overthrowing. It's called war crimes. It's like this load, this negative load upon the American destiny creates a systemic mind that is self-destructive. Whoever becomes president will automatically be forced to be an instrument of the system, and you will destroy all that is good because you can't carry the karma of America.